Did you know that in nature, the strongest instinct is survival? And yet, some animals choose death. Not by accident, not by weakness, but because their death gives life to others. There are warriors that explode to protect their colony, mothers that starve to keep their young alive, and even lovers whose romance ends in tragedy. Today, we'll explore 5 incredible animals that choose death instead of survival. And our journey begins with a creature you already know well. Small, buzzing, and surprisingly heroic. The honeybee. When most people think of honeybees, they imagine flowers, buzzing wings, and golden honey. But behind their gentle image lies one of the most extreme survival strategies in nature. For the honeybee worker, every sting is also a death sentence. The honeybee's stinger is shaped like a tiny harpoon, lined with backward-facing barbs. When a bee defends its hive and pierces the skin of a predator, like a bear or even a human, those barbs dig in. The bee tries to pull away, but the stinger doesn't come out. Instead, the bee tears itself apart. Part of its abdomen, muscles, and venom sac rip free, left behind in the enemy's skin. The venom sac keeps pulsing, pumping poison even after the bee has flown its final flight. Within minutes, the bee dies. One sting, one death. It may sound cruel, but in the world of bees, the hive is everything. A colony can contain tens of thousands of workers, but only one queen. The queen is the future. The workers are expendable. By sacrificing herself, the worker bee ensures her genetic legacy continues through her sisters and the queen's offspring. In evolutionary terms, one death to protect the hive is a winning strategy. This is the essence of eusocial life. The individual does not matter, only the colony does. Honeybee venom is more than just painful, it's a chemical cocktail. The main toxin, melittin, destroys cells and triggers sharp burning pain. Opamin attacks the nervous system. Hyaluronidase helps the venom spread quickly through tissues. Even if a single sting can't kill a large predator, the combined effect of hundreds of bees and the unforgettable pain teaches predators to stay away. One sting might not kill the bear, but it makes sure the hive won't be raided so easily again. Here's a twist. Honeybees don't always die when they sting. If they sting another insect, like a wasp, their stinger often slips out cleanly. It's only when they sting thick-skinned mammals that the barbs catch, sealing their fate. So in a way, their suicidal sting is perfectly targeted. It's designed to protect against the very creatures most dangerous to their colony. Picture it, a skunk scratches at a hive. Dozens of worker bees rush out, sting, and fall. Their bodies litter the ground, but the hive, the queen, the larvae, the food store survives. From a human perspective, it feels tragic. From nature's perspective, it's brilliance. The honeybee's story is one of tiny lives traded for the survival of thousands. Each sting is a final act of loyalty, a sacrifice written into the very design of their bodies. And while the honeybee may be the martyr of the insect world, it is not alone. Because in the rainforests of Southeast Asia lives another insect soldier, one that doesn't just sting, it explodes. In the rainforests of Southeast Asia, there exists an insect soldier with one of the strangest and deadliest defense strategies in the animal kingdom, the exploding ant. When threatened, most ants bite or sting, but the Colobopsis saundersi worker has a far more dramatic response. Faced with a predator, it contracts its body with such force that its abdomen ruptures. From inside bursts a sticky, toxic fluid, spraying onto the enemy. This resin-like secretion glues attackers in place, poisons them, and sometimes kills them outright. But for the ant, there is no escape. The explosion is fatal. To us, it looks like suicide, but for the colony, it's strategy. These ants live in highly cooperative societies where the survival of the nest outweighs the value of one worker. By detonating itself, the exploding ant may stop a predator, save the queen, and protect thousands of sisters. It's the insect version of a soldier falling on a grenade. Evolution has shaped them into living bombs. The remarkable thing is that these ants don't explode recklessly. They use this weapon only in the most desperate moments, when the colony is in danger. Many spend their lives patrolling quietly, gathering food, and raising brood. But in battle, they hold the power of destruction inside their own bodies. Seen from above, the forest floor looks peaceful. But beneath the leaves, wars between ant colonies are constant. Predators lurk at every turn: spiders, centipedes, rival ants. In this world, sacrifice is not rare, it is necessary. The honeybee may die after using its sting. But the exploding ant goes further. It weaponizes its very body, choosing destruction so the colony may live another day. And if you think dying in battle is extreme, what about dying for love? Our next creature turns romance into tragedy, the praying mantis. For the praying mantis, love is as dangerous as war. A male approaches a female carefully, inch by inch. To him, she is both opportunity and executioner. During mating, the female mantis sometimes strikes. She grabs her partner and begins to eat, often starting with his head. Yet, astonishingly, the male's body keeps moving. Even headless, his reflexes drive him to complete the act of reproduction. It is one of the most shocking examples of sexual cannibalism in nature. The male's death, gruesome as it seems, serves a purpose. His body becomes fuel. The nutrients from his flesh help the female produce stronger, healthier eggs. His sacrifice gives his offspring a better chance at life. Scientists note that not every mating ends this way. Cannibalism is more common when females are hungry, stressed, or when males fail to approach with enough caution. But the risk is always there. For the male mantis, mating is a gamble where the cost of failure is his life. It is easy to see this as cruel, but from an evolutionary perspective, it makes sense. The male ensures his genes are passed on, even at the cost of his body. The female gains energy for reproduction. The species survives. To us, it feels like a tragic romance, one partner devoured by the other. But in the mantis world, death and love are intertwined. The honeybee dies to defend. The exploding ant dies to protect. The praying mantis dies for love. But what about death for parenthood? In the dark oceans, a mother makes an even more heartbreaking sacrifice. For in the cold, silent depths of the ocean, a mother octopus begins her final chapter. After laying thousands of delicate eggs, she settles into her den. From this moment on, her only mission is to guard them. The mother octopus stops hunting. She stops eating. Every movement is dedicated to her unborn young. She fans the eggs with gentle streams of water, keeping them oxygenated. She cleans away debris. She fights off predators that dare approach. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. In some species, this vigil can last over 4 years, the longest brooding period ever recorded for any animal. All that time, she does not take a single meal. As her eggs develop, the mother weakens. Her skin loses its color. Her body shrinks. Eventually, she wastes away, still clinging to her eggs with the last of her strength. When the eggs finally hatch, tiny octopuses drift into the ocean currents. At that moment, their mother collapses and dies. Her life has been consumed, completely, by the act of giving life to her young. It may seem tragic, but evolution has shaped this strategy for survival. By pouring every ounce of energy into her brood, the mother ensures her offspring have the best possible chance. Without her protection, most eggs would be eaten. With her, thousands can make it to hatching. In the octopus world, motherhood is not just a stage of life, it is the end of life. The honeybee died to defend. The ant exploded for its colony. The mantis perished in love. And the octopus mother dies for her children. But even in the frozen deserts of Antarctica, sacrifice continues. There, a father takes on the burden and risks his own life for his chick. Far to the south, in the frozen deserts of Antarctica, a different story of sacrifice unfolds. Here, survival is not about stings or explosions. It is about patience, endurance, and the strength to withstand one of the harshest climates on Earth. After a female emperor penguin lays her single egg, she passes it carefully to the male. Then she leaves for the sea to feed. The father is left behind, balancing the egg on his feet, covering it with a flap of skin to keep it warm. And then, he waits. For 2 long months, through blizzards and howling winds that reach over 100 miles per hour, he does not eat. Temperatures plunge to 40 degrees C. He loses up to 40% of his body weight, surviving only on stored fat. The males huddle together in large groups, sharing warmth. Still, many do not survive. Some collapse from starvation, others freeze in the storms. Each day of waiting is a gamble between life and death. But if he makes it, the reward is immense. When the egg finally hatches, a fragile chick emerges, its survival owed entirely to the father's vigil. Soon after, the female returns with food from the sea, and the chick's journey begins. For the emperor penguin, fatherhood is a trial by ice. It is a sacrifice measured not in seconds of battle, but in weeks of hunger, cold, and suffering. We've seen creatures that die defending, exploding, or being consumed in love. But the emperor penguin reminds us of another truth. Sacrifice can also be slow, quiet, and enduring. A father's body withers so his child may live, and in that frozen silence, life begins anew. From bees to ants, mantises to octopuses and penguins, in the Antarctic, cold death in nature is not always the end. Sometimes it is the very reason life goes on. From bees that die with a sting, to ants that explode, to mantises, octopus mothers, and penguin fathers. Nature shows us one truth. Sometimes life only continues through sacrifice. What looks like tragedy to us is often strategy and evolution. So here's the question: are these acts really death? Or are they survival passed on through the next generation? In the wild, death isn't always the end. Sometimes it's the very reason life goes on. Thanks for watching. Which story struck you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more secrets from the living world.